Never give up. Keep going. Hang in there. You've got this. Being gritty, persisting longer than everybody else, no matter how hard it gets, this is what will make you exceptional. But sometimes persistence can actually work against you. How do you know when to stick around and see it through and when to quit? There are some clear signs. The problem with the never give up advice is that it's mostly true. There are millions of business models, ways to make money, measures of success, but the only one thing that all successful people agree on is never give up. I've definitely experienced this. Everything good in my life came from not quitting. I started writing for Forbes in 2017 and since 2019 have had 18 million hits on my articles, but 2 million of those were in the last 2 months. Every deadlift PB has come from not giving up at lockout and turning up every day at the gym. My long-term relationship, my business I sold after 10 years running it, every network I'm part of, they all got good over the long term, all because of the years I spent investing in them. There are probably things that you are really grateful you never gave up and you kept going with, because where you are now is so amazing. Not giving up is actually really good advice, except when it's not. There's an animal called a wombat. It's a thick-set, furry thing native to Australia. Wombats dig holes. They decide to dig a hole and they keep digging, only stopping to eat and sleep. They don't question their path or think about quitting, they just go. We are all wombats sometimes. It's so dangerous. When you know you have an insane work ethic and you can just go and not give up, wombatting is what means you go too far in the wrong direction before questioning if this is what you really want. So how do you know when you're being a wombat? Visualize the pinnacle. Cast your imagination forward. Imagine you kept going with this business or this sport or this relationship or this habit, or even just a project that you're working on right now. Imagine it over 1 year and then 5 years and then 10. If you kept going with intensity over a long period of time, where could you be? What does success at the highest level look like for that exact thing that you're deciding whether or not to quit? That person you're seeing, what does life with them look like over a really long term? That business you're building, how amazing could it be? That YouTube channel that you just started, how much could it grow if you kept putting energy in? Do this for everything. Visualize the future, feel it. Feel what huge success would be like for that thing and get really familiar with it. So what does your day-to-day look like? What kind of person does it make you? How do you feel when you get up every day to that reality? And do you really want the outcome at the top? Before March 2020, I owned a social media agency that I ran as a lifestyle business. I traveled the world, I trained in my sport, and I hired awesome people who could look after the business while I wasn't there. It was glorious. But when COVID hit, we lost a ton of clients in one go and then spent 5 crazy months rebuilding and growing again. By the end, I knew the agency could reach the next level. The team had the ambition and the capabilities to take it there, but I didn't want it. I saw the future of running this big agency, and that's not the reality I wanted for myself. That's when I knew it was time to sell it, and I found another mountain to climb. If you visualize the maximum potential of your current thing and you decide you don't want it, what do you want? What mountain do you want to climb? If the views at the top align with your purpose, then you won't mind the steep climb. If the views don't align with you, expect to get tired and unhappy on the journey. Too many people give up too soon because they didn't realize how much intensity is required to get to the top. They change direction and they do something else, but they hit the same barrier, same problems, different project, but the actual problem was them. So visualize the top of your mountain and try to visualize another mountain. But there's another thing, slow burner fallacy. This is where you are convinced that over a long enough period of time, your business or the thing you're working on will succeed, that it's a slow burner. It's showing just enough signs of growth to keep going, so you do. And yes, greatness takes time to build, and yes, overnight successes don't exist, but slow burner fallacy is real. So you need a plan to avoid it making you stick when you really should quit. Nike was a slow burner. In its first few years, it grew slowly. People underestimated where it was going, but there were enough signs that big things were eventually going to happen. If something you're doing just isn't taking off despite all of your genuine energy and best efforts, you have to seriously ask why so that you can move forward intentionally and not get stuck in your own illusion. So first, collect evidence. Find proof that your project is gaining traction, not just anecdotes and friends saying it's cool, but signs that it's actually working for you. So sales, repeat customers, and raving fans. If you don't have that, find examples where something like this has succeeded in a really big way. What did they do differently to you? Find examples from your past of where you've made something like this work, even if on a smaller scale. Does this fit the same pattern? Does the mountain that you're climbing align with your ACE cards? Those skills and characteristics that are unique to you that mean you are well placed to make this succeed? Are you missing the signs that you need to pivot? Can you take what you're doing and make some simple changes so that customers start lining up to work with you? You want to figure out how likely that big vision you've been picturing is to happen and then test it. So instead of letting something be a slow burner, which let's face it is not the most exciting way to do anything, double down on it. Think of your 10-year vision and then think, how can I make this happen in 6 months? What would you need to change? So I find that doing this means that you find out where you're playing too small or where you're holding back. See if you can get it to go 10 times faster and be 10 times bigger or 10 times better. And unpopular opinion, but you can get results so much faster if you just do more. Cut out the Netflix, dinners out, and consuming social media and just focus. See what you can achieve. Find out if your thing is still a slow burner and find out just how much work that next level up takes and if you still want to do it. Too many people keep going with the wrong thing because they don't question where they're going. They're wombatting away, and when they finally think, is this what I want? Or is this the best way to achieve my goals? They are so far in that they feel like starting from scratch would be a waste. It's a trap. Don't be a wombat. You can create a life and business that feels like you're playing a game, working towards an outcome you want, enjoying the journey, seeing the effort as the reward. But before you push on or walk away, picture the peak. If it's not a future you're excited to reach, maybe it's time to change direction. This has been another day of posting every day on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and then hit subscribe for the real truth about building the life you want. See you in the next one.